From the studios of WPGX, Fox 28, it's News View with Don Arias.
Welcome to News View, and tonight I have Heather Gaither. Heather Gaither is from the Metabolic Research Center, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
And you are an area manager.
Yes, I've been with Metabolic for 7 years, and I lost 70 pounds as a client on the program.
Really?
Yeah.
You've lost 70 pounds?
I
love,
did.
people just love before and after pictures.
I know.
I should have made you bring a before picture. Who knew?
I'll give you one. You can throw it in.
No, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So how did you lose all that weight?
I became 70 pounds overweight, obviously, and I went to the doctor one day, and the doctor said, hey, you have pre-diabetes and a thyroid condition. And I said, oh, and what's the reason? Is it my genetics? And he looked at me very pointedly and said, no, it's the 70 pounds. And I was like, wow. So, of course, I never went back to him.
I know. Nice guy.
But he was right. I just didn't want to hear it. And so over the course of several years, I tried to change my lifestyle and go to the gym and do a diet for 2 days and quit. And I lost about 20 pounds on my own. But the last year, I really tried very hard to lose weight. And that year, I lost about 10 pounds over an entire year. Meanwhile, I'm working with someone who'd gone to Metabolic and had lost 50 pounds, and she kept encouraging me to go. And so anyway, that friend of mine is what got me to Metabolic.
Wow.
And at Metabolic, I lost 50 pounds in about 5 months.
Holy mackerel.
Which obviously was much better than my 10 pounds in a year.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, is that even healthy to lose weight that quickly?
Sure, 10 pounds a month is really healthy. You're talking about 2.5 pounds a week. So that's not anything aggressive.
Wow, that's amazing stuff.
Yeah,
now, say you're, and we got to run off to a break here in just a few minutes, or a few seconds actually. But on the other side of the break, tell me what you would recommend for a guy like me.
Okay.
Just nobody's watching, just you and me, confidentially.
Okay.
I mean, there's no cameras here. No one's
yeah,
watching
sure.
A guy like me who's like 56 years old, maybe you got a little bit of a pot belly, and you're hitting middle age. What do you need to do to stay in shape?
Sure.
You're watching News View, and I'm speaking with Heather Gaither from the Metabolic Research Center.
You're watching News View with Don Arias.
Welcome back to News View. I'm speaking with Heather Gaither from the Metabolic Research Center. Okay, so just me and you, private consultation.
Sure.
Okay.
Nobody's watching.
Nobody's watching. Our little secret. I probably need to drop about 15 pounds. What would you recommend?
Now, the first thing that we do when someone comes into the center is we find out a little bit about their lifestyle and their background and their health history.
Oh, I eat all day long, never stop.
And I think we talked about during the commercial break that there's one food you're quite partial to. What would that be?
That would be a lot of pasta in our house.
Okay. So do you have breakfast in the morning?
Rarely.
Okay, so my number one suggestion for anybody is to eat breakfast.
Really?
Absolutely eat breakfast. If we don't change anything at all, eat breakfast. But because eating breakfast is going to wake your body up and get your body going, get your metabolism going, and it's also going to change the course of what you eat the rest of the day.
So coffee is really a poor substitute for breakfast,
Coffee
isn't it?
is not breakfast.
Okay.
It's a nice side with breakfast, but it is not breakfast. So waking up and having a good breakfast in the morning, and I really like to see someone have a balanced breakfast, some protein, maybe some fresh fruit or a piece of whole grain bread. But cereal and milk, and I'm not opposed to cereal, but cereal and milk is not breakfast, really.
Really? And I love that. I love like Raisin Bran, things like that.
Yeah, and there are some great cereals out there now, especially those that are a little bit higher in protein or a little bit better blend. But a lot of breakfast cereals that people tend to go for are just sugar. If you look at the ingredient list, the first or second ingredient is sugar.
Yeah, that's true.
And so having a breakfast of sugar is really not going to set you up for success the rest of the day.
A lot of us are racing through life.
Yes.
You get up early, you get dressed, you're off to work, and maybe you have something in the car on the way.
Quick breakfast. So Greek yogurt, love Greek yogurt. It is a great Greek yogurt with some fresh sliced strawberries or blueberries is a fantastic breakfast. Greek yogurt actually has much more protein than regular yogurt, so it's a great way to start the morning. Throw some fresh fruit in it, and you're ready to go. You don't have to turn anything on. You don't have to get a pot out. You don't have to do anything. Just grab your yogurt, throw your fruit in, and go. Okay,
and now you get to work.
Okay.
And here I am. I'm sitting in front of my computer screen, munching all day long.
Yes. And are you munching because you're hungry?
Not really.
Not
Probably
really.
because I feel like I should be doing something else beside working.
Oh,
so,
gotcha.
Yeah.
So a lot of that is a habit, and habits take a little bit of time to change. So the first thing anytime you're trying to lose weight or change your eating habits is to have some awareness. You need to be aware of what you're doing. You know, we're aware of how much gas is in our tank. We're aware of how much money is in our checkbook. We need to also be aware of what goes into our bodies. And so being aware that you snack a lot while you're at your desk is a good thing to know. And then we start to slowly change that. So air pop popcorn, some of your favorite chopped veggies, carrot sticks, broccoli, anything that you can put there that's going to be lower in calories than what you're munching on now is a great start.
Because I know a lot of people probably work in places where there's a little snack area.
Oh, the
where you
snack
can get
area.
potato chips or a candy bar or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
The dreaded break room.
What about soft drinks? Are they bad too?
I don't want to get on the soft drink, wagon, but people drink their calories. This is a huge problem. I mean, people are drinking 1,000 to 2,000 calories a day. Some people are drinking as many calories each day as they need in an entire day. Remember, a can of soda is like 200 calories.
How many calories should you be taking in a day?
It depends on whether you're male or female and how much muscle mass you have, but somewhere between 1,500 and 2,500 calories per day is what most people need.
1,500 and 2,500
And you can
average.
easily, think about it, 3 cans of Coke is 600 calories.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like half your calories for the day in 2
if you
drinks.
talk about a fancy coffee drink, I'm a big fan of coffee and I love my coffee, but if I turn that into a fancy coffee drink, some of those drinks have 800 to 1,000 calories. So awareness of where your calories are with your beverages is really important because drinking your calories is a waste of calories.
Wow. So I've gotten up. I've had a little Greek yogurt with maybe some strawberries.
Yeah, scrambled eggs and toast would be a great breakfast.
If you have the time.
If you have the time.
A lot of people don't.
Right.
You get to work. You're snacking like a madman, like I do all day long.
Yes.
But you get some carrots instead.
Sure.
Or
air pop popcorn. I'm not saying you have to snack on veggies all day. I just am trying to help you think of things that would be crunchy and flavorful, things that you enjoy, where you can cut some calories out. Beverages that don't contain a lot of calories are also a great way to deal with that snacking habit. So water, coffee, tea, flavored water. Get some awesome lemons and limes or frozen berries and throw it into your water. See, there's the water.
There it is. Oh, I'm going to have a Rubio moment here. Excuse me. There we go.
I was just placing the idea in your mind that you needed
did.
the water.
It's unbelievable. Your powers of suggestion are just overwhelming. Excuse me. I had a little cough. Anyway.
Yeah, so
hydrating is important, though, isn't it?
Hydrating is super duper important. I'll tell you what, up to 50% of the time people think they're hungry, they're really just thirsty.
Yeah.
And a lot of that goes back to the coffee and the tea and the soda. When we drink caffeinated beverages, they tend to have a dehydrating effect on the body. So you may think, oh great, I just had a cup of coffee. Well, that actually is going to increase your need for water. So it's really important to remember that you hydrate the body with water.
And I tend to believe that.
Yeah.
And it's a stunning statistic when you say 50% of the time,
yes.
When you're reaching for something to snack on, you're really just thirsty.
Yeah. Well, our brains are funny that way. And my brain definitely works that way. If I hear any little signal that says I need something, I perceive it as thinking I need to eat.
Right.
Oh, I'm hungry. I need something. But I really need to just stop and say, oh, wait a minute. My throat's a little dry right now. My mouth's a little dry. That message that I just got is not that I'm hungry. I'm just thirsty. I ate an hour ago. I'm not really hungry.
Gee, so what does your diet look like? I mean, you've got the healthy breakfast. You've maybe snacking healthy throughout the day. Lunch, do you eat light or how's that work?
I don't eat real light for lunch. I mean, I eat a healthy lunch, but lunch is usually, I have a good breakfast in the morning. I actually do have Greek yogurt. I have eggs very often for breakfast in the morning. But whatever I have for breakfast, I'll usually mid-morning have a small snack. And then for lunch, I may have like a lean turkey sandwich. I may have a salad. I make great salads, though. Now, so when I say salad, this is not, the boring salad. So I may have 3 kinds of lettuce.
Not just iceberg lettuce.
No, I may have 3 kinds of great lettuce. I'm obsessed with sweet butter lettuce right now. This is my current favorite. And I'm sliced strawberries and apples and blueberries all go in my salad. Chicken or turkey. I throw veggies in there, so I may have broccoli or tomatoes or cucumbers.
What's dinner look like? Do you ever have a cheat day or anything like
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But what I've found after losing this much weight is that my cheat days are very different than they used to be before. I mean, when I was 70 pounds overweight, there was no cheat. Every day was a cheat day, first off. And I ate a lot, and it wasn't healthy. And if I did that today, immediately my body revolts. I mean,
Really?
immediately I get stuffy, I get a stomach ache, I feel lethargic, I need to take a nap. You know, my body is used to getting the food that it's supposed to get. It's used to be receiving the kind of fuel it needs. And when I put junk in it, it tells me. So not that I'm perfect, and I absolutely go to a birthday party and have a piece of cake or have pizza with friends, but I do it in moderation, and I don't do it very often. And now instead of having 4 pieces of pizza, I might have 1 or 2 pieces of pizza, and I have a salad on the side or fill up in some other way.
There are obvious benefits, I suppose, to this type of healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
Let's talk about those on the other side of these important messages.
Okay.
You're watching NewsView. I'm Don Arias. I'm speaking with Heather Gaither from the Metabolic Research Center.
You're watching NewsView with Don Arias.
Well, welcome back to NewsView. I'm speaking with Heather Gaither from the Metabolic Research Center. We were talking about kids. You know,
we were.
and the obesity epidemic.
Yes, it's heartbreaking, really. 18% of kids are now overweight or obese, and the children's bodies were not designed to be overweight. There's no, good reason that this is happening other than the way we're eating.
You know, and during the break, we were yucking it up about, going outside to play all day when you're a kid, come home when the street lights come on.
Yes, that was my mom's rule. Come home when the street light is on.
Or don't come back until the street light
That was actually the rule. Do not come back until you see the street light, then you can come back in.
So kids are out playing all day.
Yes.
And now you see a lot of kids are, very sedentary. They're playing their video games and, you know.
So many things have changed for kids these days. Obviously, the video games and just screen time in general. They're in front of a computer. They're on a little DS thing. I don't even know the name of it.
Yeah.
They are playing video games, watching TV. The screen time is a huge issue. And obviously, as within their screen time, there's a lack of activity. They're not moving. They're sitting still going.
Well, even somebody like me, when you work in an office. Say.
Absolutely. We all have more screen time today, so we're all less mobile, less active. But with kids, it's so important for their bodies to be moving. But, screen time's not the only problem with kids today. We eat out more than ever. Yeah. Children are getting so many of their meals from fast food. They're not eating at home, and so this is a big issue.
So eating out is not only expensive, it's not necessarily a healthy way to go either, is it?
It's absolutely, and I eat out and I love to eat out, and I lost 70 pounds and ate out very often. But if you are going to eat out, you have to do, something I said in the earlier segment was awareness. You have to eat out with a ton of awareness. You have to read the labels. You have to read the nutritional information. You have to know how many calories are in things. And if you're not willing to have that level of awareness when you eat out, especially with your kids, then eating out should not be something that you do, there are some families that are eating out 2 and 3 times every day.
Yeah, and you've got to make some healthy choices too. Now, when you were losing your weight and you would eat out, what would be some of the typical things that you would order?
I ate Subway a lot for lunch, and
Really?
Everybody hears about Jared and Subway. I actually usually would get a salad at Subway. Although after I reached my goal weight, I got a lot of sandwiches, and I was just very careful about the sandwiches. Subway's great because they tell you how many calories are in everything.
Right.
It's all posted, so that's helpful.
You see a lot of fast food restaurants that go that way too.
Yes. But I would go and get a salad, and the great thing about that is I would put what I wanted on it. I like that because I'm a little bit picky, and so I could say I want turkey and I only want these vegetables, and I really got it made just like I liked it.
So you go to places where you have a little more control over what you're putting in your body.
Absolutely. There are certain restaurants that I knew that I could go to, and they're always very friendly and helpful, and I could say, hey, this is not exactly on the menu, but I'd like grilled chicken and steamed vegetables and a baked potato. And they would happily bring me that without all the sauce, without the melted cheese on the top. They would bring me what I asked for. And so I learned to find those places that were friendly and customer service oriented and helpful, and those are the kinds of places I went to eat out most of the time.
I want to switch gears on you real quick because
Sure.
I got to ask you this. What exactly is the Metabolic Research Center? Is it a business?
It is,
Okay.
yes. It's a weight loss center, so we have a physical location right down the street from you on Lisenby Avenue. And we are a weight loss center. You come in. Initially, you'll have a consultation. So we'll sit down, as we talked about when we first started, that we'll sit down together and find out a little bit about you. So I would know that you're a snacker and that you love your Italian food and you like your carbs. And I'd find out your health history because I always want to pick a program that's compatible with your health profile. So if you're on multiple medications or you have some sort of disease or something is wrong, we want to make sure that we pick a program that matches what's best for you. So I would learn about you, and then we would pick a menu that's best suited for you. And then on a regular basis, you'd come into the center for weigh-ins.
Yeah, and when you pick that menu, would you give me a shopping list and say, okay, here's the things you need to stock your fridge with?
Absolutely. Your menu is going to be really easy to follow. There's no calorie counting. So it's going to say, hey, for breakfast in the morning, here's a bunch of things you can choose from. And for lunch, here are all of the proteins you can choose. Here's a huge list of vegetables. Here's a huge list of fruits. Here's all the starches you can pick. And you would just choose what you'd like each day out of an abundance of choices on the menu. And you'll have a shopping list that you can use and take to the grocery store. And then from there, you'll come in and weigh in with me on a regular basis. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and you know, what if I like pizza? What if I go out every Saturday night and have a pizza?
So here's the interesting thing about loving pizza. We have the option. If you were to say to me, hey, I am tied to the pizza and I want to do this program, but I'm not giving up the pizza, I probably would lean toward my dietitian design menu, where we have a dietitian that would actually build a menu for you, taking into account your very specific likes and dislikes. And that menu could include pizza for Don once a week on his menu. But what I find with many people is they come in and say, I am tied to my food. I'm going to have my pizza, or I'm not going to give up my chocolate. And after about 5 or 6 pounds of weight loss, they come in and they're like, the weight loss feels so much better than the pizza, and tomorrow's my pizza day, but I'm not willing to lose that 2 pounds I know I'm going to get on the scale next Monday, so I'm not going to have my pizza.
Is it all just diet, or are there supplements, or is there a whole mindset you have to change, or is there exercise component to it?
There's a bit of all of those. So diet is very important, and I never want to underestimate that, because we can take all the supplements in the world and we can exercise forever. I mean, I exercised like crazy and lost 10 pounds in a year, right, before I found my way to metabolic. So exercise is very important, as are supplements, but at the end of the day, you have to eat right. And if you don't change your eating, nothing will change. But as you decide to change your eating, you want to make sure that you keep your body strong and healthy. And quite frankly, we want the weight loss process to feel good. We want it to be enjoyable. If it's not enjoyable, you'll quit. And so some of the things that support that are really good, healthy vitamins and herbs. So we want to make sure that if we are restricting the foods that we eat, we put the nutrients back in with a good multivitamin, with some good fats like fish oils. We just want to make sure that the body has what it needs while it's losing weight. We're big proponents of protein, so we use protein as snacks. We offer great protein drinks in our center. They're just really good tasting drinks that you can mix up, and gives your body about 15 grams of protein with every drink, which is the equivalent of 2 eggs.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's where you're snacking, for example. You're used to snacking, you're hungry in the middle of the afternoon. Well, you have a protein drink, that will satisfy your body, but you only got 70 calories.
So you're not necessarily having to break some habits.
Right.
I mean, like the snacking, you just snack on other stuff.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But the other thing that you asked about was, is it in the mind? And all weight loss, all things that you want to change in your life, whether it's quitting smoking or getting a new job or, you know, building up your bank account, doesn't matter. It starts up here. It starts here. So your mind has to get on board, and you have to be ready, and you have to commit to the change. And when your mind is on board, and when you clearly know why you want to do this, and your picture of the future is brighter than the pizza or the carbs, you will be successful.
So you visualize success.
Absolutely.
And you just live that lifestyle.
Absolutely. And I would assume in your previous career, visualizing whatever you had to do was critical. It's critical in everything you do, and weight loss is no other. We have to eat 3 times a day. We are surrounded by food all the time. So if you don't get your head in the game, there's no hope.
Got to run off to a commercial break. Let's talk more about the whole spiritual side of this as well. On the other side of these messages, you're watching Newsview. I'm Don Arias. I'm speaking with Heather Gaither from the Metabolic Research Center.
You're watching Newsview with Don Arias.
Welcome back. I'm speaking with Heather Gaither from the Metabolic Research Institute. The spiritual dimension to this whole thing. There's a whole psychology to weight loss, isn't there?
There absolutely is this whole psychology to weight loss. I mean, honestly, weight loss is between the 2 ears. So when you decide in your mind that you're going to eat healthy, let's be honest, we don't eat because we're hungry if we have a weight problem. If we were just hungry, we would just eat chicken and broccoli, right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if I'm just hungry and that's the only reason I'm choosing to eat, then pizza or chicken is all the same. I eat for a whole lot of other reasons. So pizza is the food that I had when I was a child, and that connects me to my past, and that makes me feel comfortable. So
It's a fun food. It's a finger food.
It's a fun food. It makes me happy. So I'm eating that food for a reason, but it's not because I'm hungry. If I was just hungry, I wouldn't have a weight problem. And so for most people, there is another component to their weight loss story. And that component is something that we try very hard to address in our center. We encourage clients to visualize, to journal, to think hard about when they're eating and what they're eating and why they're eating it. But we also offer classes to help support them. For over 10 years, we've had a licensed therapist, Dr. Gloria Tipton, who comes in and teaches a class called Connections. And it's all about finding the connection between what you eat and why you eat it. I call it my relationship with food. And kind of discovering what this relationship is and how I use it and how I abuse it. And finding some new tools to use so that when I get mad or my feelings get hurt or I feel stressed, then instead of reaching for food, I deal with the anger or the stress or the fatigue.
Heather, we're going to have to let that be the last word because
Okay.
we're so out of time. But thank you so much for coming
Absolutely.
out to NewsView. And I'm going to re-examine my relationship with food.
Thanks.
You've been watching NewsView, and I've been speaking with Heather Gaither from the Metabolic Research Institute.